How much do you think in total commission you've done in the, say, 12 months you've been doing this?
Probably over around 200,000 since I
Yeah.
started in commission between all my accounts. Accounts were getting closed. I'd seen people talking about that. And then my other account, not even days later, is just banned, just gone.
Right.
I lost like 15,000 and I can start over and build this into something even better. Maybe it all happened for a reason. And in November, last month was my highest month in commission yet at almost $90,000.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Congratulations.
so glad I didn't give up.
Welcome back to another episode of the Social Army Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce, and today we have a really cool guest with us, somebody who's done close to $2 million in total sales, and somebody who actually had every right to just want to drop everything and quit because she lost 2 accounts at one point in time due to TikTok doing their TikTok things. But with, perseverance and grit, she decided not to do that and kept on going. And boy, did it pay off in the long run. She goes by the name of Kayla. But before I bring her on, I want to kind of put a quick disclaimer out there for anybody who is watching this and may be new to TikTok shop and what we do. This is not a get rich quick scheme by any means necessary. TikTok shop does involve a lot of work and a lot of skill behind it. So coming into something like this, yes, there is a massive opportunity to earn money online with TikTok shop, but it does take some time to learn, and it's not something that's going to pick up overnight. Now, the results that I'm about to share with you that Kayla has done, these results are not typical. So please do not expect yourself to jump into TikTok shop and immediately start making money like what we're about to discuss. Just want to make that very clear to any viewers out there who are seeing this for the first time. So now that that's out of the way, Kayla, if you will, I'd love to hear a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce. I'm Kayla. I am 31 years old. I'm a mom of 3 boys, and I started TikTok Shop back in January. My husband and I own a construction company, and he had just kind of gotten started on that. I was at home doing the books and just wanted something more. We were just kind of in this weird place where the company was getting up and running, but we weren't fully like financially settled. And I didn't really want to go back to work full time. I loved being at home with the kids and having that time freedom. And so I was watching one video on TikTok, and I can't even remember the guy's name. I think his name was Logan. And he said he had made like $20,000 or something doing TikTok shop. And at the time, it was when you could do loophole accounts. So I had one account that I had grown organically to 15,000 followers. And then I had a backup account that I just kind of used for trolling. So I was like, I'm just going to send it like from both ways. I'm going to do the one account I had grown organically and the other account as a loophole method, the loophole route. So I signed up both of those accounts in one day. And I mean, I was terrified. I had grown my account organically. The one that I had gotten up to 15,000, talking about my journey in recovery with sobriety. And so transitioning that into shop content was really challenging because I'm like, what are all my followers going to think if I'm posting shop videos now? And so I mostly did faceless content when I first started. And my first week I made $50, which I thought was amazing. I was like, you know what? We're just out here getting free stuff to promote. So if I'm just making $50 off free stuff, like that's incredible. Um, as I started seeing a bit more commission come in, I started getting a bit braver, putting my face out there. And then by April was the first month I hit 5 figures in a month. So I hit 18,000 in April. And at that point, I was like, I'm going all in. Like, this is a gold mine. This is too profitable to not just give it my all. So I was really focusing on lives at the time. I was going live on a walking pad, and I was still kind of nervous to show my face. So I had a walking pad from like the neck down that I would go live with. And those are crazy. I mean, I was making like $1,000 in 2 hours just going live on a walking pad. And I was doing that on both accounts. I had grown both accounts pretty high. And then May was my biggest month. At that point, I hit $24,000. And then at the end of May, I lost both accounts in a week. So I knew the loophole accounts were getting closed. I'd seen people talking about that. My sister-in-law had lost one. I kind of scaled back on posting on that one, but I was still earning a lot of money. I had 3 videos with the Breeze drinks go viral that I was
Those are
earning
good.
like daily commission on. So that account has over 7,000 in commission frozen that I can't access. And then my other account, not even days later, is just banned, just gone, like wiped off of TikTok platform. And that one had about 8,000. So I lost around 15,000 in commission and both my accounts in 1 week. And I almost gave up.
What made you
But
not want to give up?
I vividly remembered I was sitting in the kitchen just crying to my husband because he was so excited about this opportunity for me. He saw how passionate I was about it. It just kind of like got reignited like this creativity in me after being a mom for so many years. I feel like you lose your identity a bit in motherhood. And so finding something that I was passionate about to this extent, I was devastated. Like I fell into one of the deepest depressions after losing that account and having to start over. But I was telling him, he told me, he's like, just stop. If it's affecting you this bad mentally, just stop. And I told him, like, the only thing that feels scarier than to keep going and risk losing another account, doing this all over again, is to not do it at all. That felt so much scarier for me, knowing the potential that TikTok had and TikTok Shop had, and seeing the results that I had already seen in just a few months. I was like,
Right.
that felt so much scarier not continuing on. And I also had my two friends that I had just connected with at the time, Bree and Ashley, who are also a part of Social Army, and we had a group chat. I mean, they got me through this summer. Like I was I was in the trenches this summer, and they were just there, like, just keep going, just post one video, just try and go live once. Like they kind of like dragged me through it until I could do it myself. And I just feel like that's where we kind of found Social Army too, because we realized that value of a community. Like we found it within each other, and then also seeing what other people were achieving through Social Army. It's like, let's see what this has to offer. And so that's what got me to keep going, and that's what's gotten me through it.
That's amazing. And, being able to get through that too, because losing $15,000,
Oh my
granted,
gosh.
it was never in hand, but still knowing that it was there in yours and then losing it is rough. I lost 7,000, I think, on my main account when it got banned because of the whole loophole thing. Luckily, I was able to recover mine. How? I have no idea. I had an agency working day and night for like 2 months on trying to help me with it, but that it sucked and it made me want to quit too. But you just knowing the potential and knowing what you can achieve with TikTok Shop, like you said, I think you said it perfectly. It's what scares you more is not trying it again, because it's like, well, shit, now what if I miss out on even more? What if I miss out on a better, opportunity, or I create an account that is performing better than my other two accounts that I lost? There's always the what if. But yeah, that's rough.
It was brutal, and I feel like that was kind of my mindset. I'm very big into kind of like manifestation, and I was just thinking,
Right.
like, what if this is all happening for a reason? What if this was the farthest these accounts were going to take me, and I needed to start fresh? What if I needed to do this the right way and just have, a
Right.
platform that wasn't built through the loop? What if I had lost like, $100,000? Like if
Right.
I lost like 15,000 and I can start over and build this into something even better, maybe it all happened for a reason. And in November, last month was my highest monthly commission yet at almost $90,000.
Oh my
So
goodness. Congratulations.
thank you.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
October was 54,000, and last month between commission and like brand deals, I cleared over 90,000, which is just
Wow.
insane. So I'm so glad I didn't give up.
What'd your husband think about that one?
Oh, he's ready to quit. He's like, I'm done working. I'm like,
Yes.
retire, honey. I've got
you,
this.
you need to get him in TikTok Shop now. That's
I've
crazy.
had him in some videos. So my first viral breeze video that went crazy on my Loophole account was actually with him. And my poor husband, he's so hardworking, but he's like naturally just a very skinny guy.
Yeah.
And he works in construction, so he just worked like a 12-hour shift. And he came home and I was like, I need you to do this video with me trying these like mushroom infused drinks. And um people just roasted him in the comments because he was like dirty, just gotten off work. But that video made us so much money.
Oh yeah.
He was like, I'll be in whatever you want me to be now. Like, I'll play the
Yes.
part. Like, we'll do it up. So he's always willing to hop in and do a
I
video
love
with me if
that.
I need it. He does skits with me, so
I
he's on
love that.
board. Hmm.
We have a lot of other creators, mother creators out there like Sherry and
Oh yeah,
Amber, who utilize their husband as, props in their videos, right? And
exactly.
those videos do so well. And
They
it's
do.
something about the relationship dynamic that blows
Mhm.
it up.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Hmm.
I do want to throw a quick disclaimer out there because we are mentioning something that probably a lot of you have never heard of before, and that is something called a loophole account. When TikTok Shop was kind of blowing up back at the beginning of the year, and even before that, there was a method of which you could create a seller account and then attach a TikTok account at 0 followers to that seller account, and it would give you affiliate permissions on the TikTok account. that was never intended to be a way for affiliates to be able to work on this platform. However, it was exactly what we called it, a loophole. And a lot of people were taking advantage of it at the time. And it was something that was harmless, in the grand scheme of things, but not at the same time, because it did saturate the platform quite a bit. And TikTok finally cracked down and was able to patch, for lack of a better term, the loophole method. But that is not something that is still an active practice on the app. And it's not something that going forward from those days that we condone anybody trying to find ways into the affiliate program without hitting the specific amount of followers. Now, granted, 99% of the affiliates on this platform all had a backup account that was a loophole account, because it was a way of getting into the affiliate program early. And once you got up to 5,000 followers, you could withdraw it and it would switch right over to a normal account. But I do want to make that clear to anybody watching this, that going forward, since I think April, May, somewhere in that time is when that was discontinued. So that is no longer something that is able to be done on TikTok Shop's platform. Not that it's a bad thing or anything of that nature. It's just, it is what it was. It was a loophole. That's all it was. But going forward, that's between being able to lose all that money and then come back and have a $90,000 month in the month of November, just 6 months later, is insanity.
Crazy.
Insanity. And you've done close to $2 million total in commission. And with that, total sales, $2 million in commission would be crazy.
Right.
Give it another year and you'll be there. My gosh.
There. Yep.
You're right. But you've now done $90,000 in 1 month in commission. How much do you think in total commission you've done in the, say, 12 months you've been doing this, 11 months you've been doing this?
Oh gosh, probably over around 200,000 since I started in commission between all my accounts, I'd say.
That's insane. What's your best advice to people who, say, may not be used to making this type of money, who have now started to make this type of money? What's your best advice to them in regard to, saving it or putting it in the right areas or anything of that nature? Do you have anything? Because I'm sure it's been a journey for you figuring this out as well.
Yeah, so I actually, I just got in contact with an accountant recently, start a high yield savings ASAP, stick like, I don't know, 35% of that money into your high yield savings. Don't even let it touch your bank account, because I kind of made that mistake at first where I didn't think it would keep going. I didn't really consider taxes much. And then after talking to the accountant, it's like, we're going to be screwed if we don't get our shit together with this money. So high yield savings all the way, let that money make you money as it's sitting in the high yield savings account. So that's what we're doing. We've got, I just got an LLC that they transitioned to an S Corp, for tax purposes as well. So definitely, finding the right people to give you financial advice, high yield savings all the way, save for taxes, be prepared for that. I think for us, we just, we weren't very wise in our 20s. And so we're just trying to get ourselves in a good position financially, get out of debt, all that stuff. We're able to get a bigger car, which was amazing because, we got a whole bunch of kids. They're all in football. They got their little buddies. So being able to get a bigger car was amazing. So, we're definitely using it for the things we want as well, but we're just trying to get ourselves in a good position financially.
That's the best thing you can do. This was an opportunity that allowed me and my family to pay off a lot of debt, and put us in because like you said, we weren't very smart in our 20s either.
Right.
There was dumb decisions. And, granted, I made good money throughout, being in my 20s through my corporate job, but it wasn't this type of money. This is change your life type of money. And it really is. It's insane. And it feels illegal, doesn't it? To be doing this on TikTok. It doesn't feel right.
Me and my husband have talked about that. It's it literally feels like we hacked the system. How is this our life? We were at the event in LA and me and Bree were filming just the dumbest skits and the comfort sets, not the comfort stuff, I love their brand, but just our skits were so stupid. It's how do we make money? How is this our job? We're just sitting here in an Airbnb in LA making silly videos, cracking up, and we're making tens of thousands of dollars monthly off this.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
Crazy. And I mean, as soon as I found that I could make some money off TikTok Shop, I told everyone about it back in January, February. I'm you guys got to get on this. You got to try this. This is, going to blow up. Even if it's just an extra $1,000 a month, it's
that's $12,000 a year.
Seriously, I'm just to post some silly little shop videos, and obviously there's more into it, kind of the disclaimer you put in. Now that I'm taking this seriously, there is a lot of research and strategy and hard work that goes into it. It's not just a few little shop videos we're posting and making a ton of money with. But at the time, I was just telling everyone, I'm like, you got to get on this. And
When
I
you're
think
having fun with it, it's just, it flows, you
it
know?
does, yeah. And especially when I'm with like my friends that are also creators and understand TikTok and what we're doing, it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Live felt like work to me. I got burnt out going live really quick. I think that was when I joined Social Army, was when I was just kind of over live. I got so burnt out on it and I transitioned to videos. So that's where Social Army's been huge for me.
Good. What do you think was kind of like your biggest help out of Social Army for those videos?
So I think the account reviews, I sat in on one with Jerry and he had gone over my
Jerry's amazing.
videos.
Yeah.
He's awesome. So I was so discouraged. This was probably in like beginning of September. I was still making good money, but after, a $24,000 month, dropping down to even 10,000 kind of feels discouraging. And I know to other people that might sound crazy being discouraged by 10,000 a month, but when you're feeling those highs, it really does feel like a low at that time. So he was doing an account review, video review of mine, and he was actually so encouraging. He was telling me that I had like really good hooks, that I had like really good cadence, good speed, all of that. He was saying like work on your hooks a bit. I was posting consistently, and he did say, he's like, if I had to bet money on an account to pop, like it would be this one. And I implemented like his editing feedback into my videos, and it was one of the first videos that I did with my ratchet straps that is now at 17 million and has made me over.
That video is insane on
It's
how
great.
well it's done.
It went crazy. And when I like, it was right when TikTok Shop, and I know I'm kind of like switching gears. I'm sorry. It was
No,
right
you're
when
fine.
TikTok Shop did the implemented that delete and re-edit feature. So I had tried like editing my videos to where it like, flowed. There was no dead space in between clips. And when I uploaded it, it like cut off the last like millisecond of each clip. So like I'm not even saying a sentence all the way through. And I watched it back and I was like, oh, that didn't upload right. But I was too nervous to do the delete and re-edit because I'd never tried it before. So I was like, no one will probably see it. F it, I'll just do a better one later. Like it just fulfilled the sample requirement. That was the one that took off.
It's always the one you least expect to do anything, right?
100%.
There's been so many times where I'm like, damn, I should have made that better, or I should have done this clip
Yep.
differently. Viral.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. And like you said, if you would have deleted and re-edited that video, you never would have seen 18 million views,
Exactly.
17 million
Who
views out
knows?
of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
How much did that
and-
video make you, if you don't mind me asking? And
No, not at all.
GMV?
GMV, oh my gosh.
A few 100,000, I would assume, right?
Oh, yeah, I bet maybe around like 800,000 GMV.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
What did it make you for
crazy.
commission?
Commission, I bet I'm over. Between October was when I posted that end of September, and it popped off in October. And between October and November, that's been my biggest seller. So over $100,000 on that video.
Wow. Holy shit. Off
Shout
of
out
some
to Jerry.
retractable ratchet straps. Yeah,
I
straight
know.
up.
Shout out to Jerry. Thank you, Jerry.
That's
Yeah, no, it was
amazing.
crazy. And it was funny because I had watched Sherry's video that had gone like crazy viral about that like blower that, blows
Yeah.
air. And so she had kind of like structured it where she, like her hook on screen was like her blue collar husband. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to try to do with the ratchet straps. Is like, oh, I got these for my blue collar husband. I almost tried to like imitate her skit, but with the ratchet straps. And I thought for sure, I was like, that's the one that's going to take off, because you saw someone else go
Right.
crazy viral with it. And then it's never the ones you expect.
Nope. It's always the ones that are, typically original to you, and
Yeah.
ones that you're like, damn, that's not good enough. I should have done better.
That's exactly how it was. Yeah. But
That's crazy. And since that video, you've posted a few more on the same product that have also done pretty well in views, right?
oh yeah,
Not to
I
that
think-
extent, but
Yeah, not to that extent, but I've seen, quite a few of them get a couple 100,000 views. There's some of them that are popping for sure, but not quite like that one.
that's good. You inspired me. I even tried to mimic your video to an extent, and it completely flopped.
Oh.
But I think the way that you set yours up was so good and so perfect, and it was so quick. And the little mistakes that you noticed in it, I didn't take notice to. And I critique a lot of videos. So for what you're seeing, it wasn't bad in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. And it performed extremely well. I think you outperformed even a lot of the guys in this space when it comes to that product. And that product is generally catered towards, working
Right.
people. Or working men. So I think you I think you outdid a lot of them with that video. It was insane.
Oh,
Insane.
thank you. And I feel like
Mhm.
kind of the direction I took helps me a lot too, because I almost like marketed it towards women to get for their
You
men. And
did
so when you look at the
100%.
comments, it's mostly women. And when I looked at
Yep.
my data on it the other day, it was like the amount of viewers that had watched it, majority of it were women that were like, this is
Yep.
such an amazing idea. Because the men in my life truly are so hard to shop for. So I'm always looking on like unique gifts for guys, and you see like flasks, you see wallets, you see the typical stuff. So I think that's why it did so well, because it helped women with an idea of what to get
It did.
men.
And your audience is going to be that of women anyway. Your
Mhm.
audience isn't going to be a male audience with your shop
Right.
content. Your audience is going to be a female audience.
Yeah.
So when you tapped into that, and you called out the demographic in the very beginning, which is a style of hook that, I tell people to use all the time, because every time I've called out a specific demographic, I've always reached that.
Mhm.
And I've always been able to cater to it very well. For example, the Echo Beater one that I made on the tank tops,
Mhm.
my hook was, this video's for all my big body dudes. If you're not a big body dude, skip on by. This stuff, the shit's not for you.
Mhm.
And it immediately hit the right audience I wanted it to hit. Your hook was, why are men? Well, it was, why are men so hard to shop for Christmas? That's what it was, right?
Yeah, I think I said men are seriously so hard to shop for.
Right. But
Yeah.
immediately that was a targeted hook, because now it's going to go towards the people who shop for men for Christmas,
Mhm. Yeah.
wives, moms, grandmas, on the opposite end of the spectrum, husbands, boyfriends, things of that
Mhm.
nature, girlfriends. It's going to go straight to the people who are buying for their male partner. So I
Mhm.
think it was very, very well put together. I don't think anything about that
Mhm.
video was bad.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. So that's awesome. I love that. And the fact that is that your most viral and like heaviest hitting video that you've had?
Yeah,
That's
100%.
so crazy.
Yeah,
That's so
it's
crazy.
amazing. Yeah, it's been life
Um,
changing.
that's really good. So I have another question for you in regard to kind of products. What made you pick that of all things? And what makes you pick your products? Like, do you have a criteria that you try to meet?
I wish I did, to be honest. I almost kind of feel like it's just like intuition, gut feeling. If I see a product and I'm like, I think I could market that well. I think I can make a good video with that. And now 100 of those videos will flop before I see one that I actually do
Right.
market well. But I feel like that's kind of what I go with, where I'm like, or I'm something where I'm like, oh my gosh, my kids would love this. I bet other people's kids would love this. Or beauty products that I really like and, think other people would like too. And again, a lot of them flop. But for that one in particular, I thought of my husband. I was like, my husband would really love these. We have like a side by side. We have so many things that he could use those with. They had black and red, which were his favorite colors. So I'm like, I'm just going to get these for him and then see if I can make a video off of it for a gift for other women. And that was immediately what I thought when I saw those products, was like, this is such a cool gift for guys. So I kind
Right.
of just feel like it's almost when I'm scrolling and I see a product, if I just get like a good gut feeling and good, that like intuition about it, where I'm just kind of like, I feel like I could promote that well. I don't always promote it well, but that's kind of what
Right.
I go off of. And I
Right.
do kind of pay attention to like product scores, reviews. I don't want to go with a super low product. I know everyone does that differently. If something's got like a 1 or 2 star review, I typically try to stay away from it, but
Right.
that's not the only factor I consider.
Right. And I like that though. I mean, you go off of passion products, which is something I promote heavily. Find something you
Hmm.
are interested in, find
Hmm.
something to promote that you have an experience with or something you have, passion behind. But you also going off of, you mentioned earlier, you're real big into manifestation, right? You're
Hmm.
going off of your gut feeling, your intuition. That's huge, I think, because a
Yeah.
lot of people try to avoid that because they think, oh, no, what I like, other people won't like. That's completely
Hmm.
false. Your experiences are not unique to just yourself. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions even of other
Hmm.
people who experience the same thoughts that you experience. It's just a matter of putting those into motion for people to
Hmm.
see. And you did a really good job at doing that. So
Yeah.
picking
Thank
products
you.
based off of that alone is also another good way of finding products, because if you see it and you're like, somebody else might enjoy this, you're absolutely right. There's thousands of other people that'll probably enjoy it. Your job is just to get it in front of those thousands of other people.
Right. Right. And I do feel like there is, definitely some motivation behind like what's going to be trending coming up. So at that point, I'm thinking like, okay, everyone back then is like, start putting out content for Black Friday now. Everyone's telling you to start posting like August, September. So now I am kind of looking into like January, New Year, like what are people going to be focusing on? Like exercise, probably budgeting, because everyone's going to be broke from the holidays. So now I'm like kind of like transitioning my mindset into that. And then so I do also look at like what are people going to be thinking of in that in the upcoming months. But I do feel like a big portion of it is just like if I get a good gut feeling off a product, or I think like, hey, I could use this really well in my life, I bet I could promote it well, I go with that too.
That's amazing. I love that. And you're 100% right. New year, new me. It's one of the
Yep.
biggest, it's one of the second largest shopping seasons of the entire year. And the
Mhm.
biggest thing for it is, products for a better you,
Right.
supplements, clothing, workout equipment, all types of stuff of that nature.
Yep.
So you're 100% right. And budgeting.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people want to take their financial literacy to a new level, or they want to take control of their finances moving into the next year. So financial planners are big, money saving envelopes are big, all these types
Yep.
of products are going to be really, really big leading into the next couple of months. So I like that
Yeah.
you're thinking ahead.
Oh, thank you.
So what are some of the, outside of losing your two accounts, some of the setbacks that you think you've had since then, since starting your new page and having the success that you found recently? Have there been any other setbacks that you've encountered that you've been able to overcome that you might be able to share with others?
I think just probably standard ones that a lot of people run into, like violations, which can be really discouraging. And I also feel like once, for me and my experience, like I feel like once I get a violation, like the algorithm or AI is like hyper focused on my account now. And if I like breathe wrong, then it's giving me
I
violations.
feel
So
that.
so there's been some setbacks on that. I was doing really well going live on my other two accounts. And when I started on my new account, I was doing really well at first. And then those just kind of started flopping. Like it was the weirdest thing. I'd have like really high viewers, but like no one interested in the product. And then it got to a point where I was almost like afraid to try because I was afraid to fail. So I quit going live and I did get burnt
Okay.
out on it, but I honestly, like, just being like fully transparent, I think I just got afraid. Like I was so afraid to fail. I was afraid to get on there and have no one buy the products, to feel like I wasted my time. Like it live has always felt like more work for me than videos. And so it felt like if I'm on there for 2 hours and no one bought, like it truly felt like more of a waste rather than putting videos out, because those videos could pop off months later, you never know. So I just truly got like scared. I got in my own head. I talked myself out of it. I get my life completely set up and then just talk myself out of it. And I think getting past that like mental hurdle of like being afraid to fail again was definitely something I had to get through. I felt like, again, Bree and Ashley were huge with that. My husband was great. He was very encouraging. Even he was like, just get one video, just pump one video out today, even if that's all you can do for today, just get something out there. And now I'm doing a lot more than that, but there are some days where that's all I could post was just one. I was just in my own head. I was so afraid to fail. I never felt my content was good enough. I was too scared of getting violations. So I think just learning to like get out of my own way, I really had to learn these last couple months, but I
Amazing
did.
what'll happen when you get out of your own way.
Seriously. Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. And you've done great for yourself since then. I
Oh,
relate
thank
to
you.
you on a spiritual level when it comes to the getting in your own way with lives, the afraid of failing and the waste of time. Because, man, I've gone live for two hours and made $20, $30. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I do that?
Yeah.
That's $15 an hour. Was it worth that 2 hours of me exhausting my breath trying to sell
Mhm.
something to people? Did I pick the wrong product? Is
Right.
this going to happen again tomorrow? Do I want to waste another 2 hours doing this tomorrow? I have
Right.
a love-hate relationship with lives. I
Me
know
too.
they can perform
Oh
so
yeah.
well, but
Hmm.
I'm terrified of getting on there doing great and then flopping the next day. With a video, hey, that's okay. I can post 10 more and I'll find another successful one.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 3 hours of me exhausting my breath telling
And
people,
it
hey,
is
go buy this.
exhausting. Like it's
Oh my God.
exhausting going live.
It is. You get done, your brain's fried.
It's fried. My throat hurts. I'm just over it. I'm like mentally tapped out. So
That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's definitely profitable. And before the ratchet straps took off, my best day ever commission wise was going live on the walking pad. I got like
Really?
$2,600.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I just on my little walking pad, I walked my ass off. I walked for like 8 miles, but I made $2,600. And I'm like, hell yeah, two birds, one stone. I'm making money and getting my steps in. And um, then it wasn't until the ratchet straps that I finally beat that for commission.
That's insane. Man, I'm thinking maybe I should get a walking pad and go live with, because, that whole new year, new me,
First
maybe
of
I
the
can jump
year,
on
I know. I'm about to
that.
like bring mine out of retirement. I'm like, I
Yeah.
need to get back on this thing.
That's funny. I love
Mhm.
that. The guys, I don't know, who Jasper and Stan are, right? Or at least have heard
Oh
of their
yeah.
names, right?
Hmm.
So they're my partners and Basil in this entire thing. And they've been getting on me about, trying to get my mental in check and things of this nature. And I was like, you know what? Because they want me to go live so much. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll get a walking pad and I'll do what Bird Dogger does. And now that I know you do this, I'm going to go out there and do what Kayla did and just walk for hours, and we'll see what happens. Maybe that's the time I go live. And on top of that, it'll help me get my mental back in check. So I'm going to give it a shot, maybe.
Do it. I know.
That's funny.
I keep telling myself I'm going to do it, but then every time I go to get set up, I'm like, I'll just make videos instead.
Right.
I'll just do something else.
That's funny. Videos are simple. They're fun to make. They're easy, easy. But I want to clarify something. I say videos are easy. When you understand how to make a good and engaging video, you can put a video together in 30 seconds, in your head, scripting and all those kinds of things, right? Like I can look at almost any product I have in my office and make a video just like that. Is it going to convert? I have no idea. That's going to be up to TikTok's algorithm. But putting out the content, once you understand how to put it together, you know how to structure it, you know how to create hooks, you know how to find the controversy, you know how to find the relatability, you know how to tell the story, you know how to captivate the viewers, and you know how to add a call to action in a seamless way at the end of the video. They're simple. What's not simple is putting out 10 videos, not a single one of them popping off, and then your brain is telling you, okay, I suck. Oh my God, that video was bad. Oh, this is not the right way to do it. That the hard part is having the mental battle inside your head constantly saying, you're bad, do something different. Follow the trends, do this, do that. Don't allow your brain to defeat you, because at the end of the day, you make good content. You just have to learn how to get past the barriers that your mind sets up for you. Because the content that you make, if it follows all the steps and it flows and it's good and it's engaging, will eventually pop off. It just takes time. Not every video pops off on TikTok, which sucks, because it would be really nice if it did.
Yeah, 100%.
It'd be really nice if it did. So I have a question for you, Kayla. For anybody that's kind of, starting out and might be afraid of leaning into content creation, or might be a little bit more reserved, or, what do you think is the best piece of advice you can give them that might help them come out of their shell a little bit? Because in the beginning you said you were afraid and you did a lot of things faceless.
Yeah, I feel like that's a tough one. I almost feel like you just got to post it. You just got to like do it scared, It's one of those that I felt like once you do it and you realize, okay, this isn't as scary as it seems. I kind of feel like that's the only way to do it, is just do it scared. Just put the content out there. Know that like I think the biggest thing that's helped me is realizing, like, if there's people out there judging me, like, they're probably not doing this. They're not putting themselves out there in the same way that I am. Anyone doing better than me is not going to look at me and critique me and judge me for what I'm doing and putting myself out there. The only people that are going to look at my content and think it's cringe are probably people not doing better than I am, or not even putting themselves out there in a way to earn tens of thousands, hundreds of $1,000s monthly like we are. 100%. And so it's worth the risk. It's worth giving it a shot. At least it was for me. Now with that being said, I have put myself out there and just gotten like roasted. I had this one boot video for Dream Pairs that I thought I had like a really good, like controversial hook, where I was basically saying like Gen Z is trying so hard to be us millennials because they're like copying the UGG boot. That video got over like 300,000 views and like 24 hours, thousands and thousands and thousands of comments of Gen Zers like attacking me, and not one sale. And so it's like putting yourself out there, like you win some, you lose some, they tore me up. I was like, I almost deleted that video. I was like, okay, maybe controversy doesn't sell. Like I thought, I've made controversial videos in the past to hook people. You might just get roasted sometimes, but
sometimes you hit the wrong demographic, and I think that's what you did there.
100%. And like they were like, literally, no one wants to be you old ass millennials. Like they were ruthless. They're mean as hell.
Yeah, they're rude.
My bad. Like I backpedaled so fast, and I mean, after that, I'm like a little nervous to lead into controversy. Especially that was also during the time where like everyone was seeing really high views, low sales. But I think with that one, what I did wrong was it was like entertaining and like triggering, but there was not really a strong selling point or call to action. Right. So I got the engagement, I got people to watch the video, but I didn't manage to sell them on the product or convert.
Right. It happens though. But you did call out. You called out one of the most ruthless generations to exist. So.
Yeah, I won't do that again. So I think with that, it's like if you're putting yourself out there, like you might piss some people off, you might get some people coming at you, but not even a month later, I made $90,000. So if I had to get roasted for one video to get there, I'll take it.
Right. That's funny. My video with the echo beaters, I got roasted pretty hard in that video, but I grew up a fat kid in public school in Southern California. So, you develop
That's
thick
okay.
skin early on in life.
Mhm.
And if you haven't, the internet will help you, especially
Oh yeah.
TikTok.
Oh yeah.
But no, I love that. But you did call out a very controversial generation already as it was. So,
Yep.
but it's crazy that you didn't get any sales off of that. I did have a video that has like 800,000 views now. I think I have 12 sales in total off the video.
Crazy.
Right. But it should have generated a lot more sales than that, but it was during that time, the high views, no sales time. I don't know what was going on with TikTok, but that was a universal thing.
Yeah, and it was at the same time, and I mean, I do think rewatching that video back, I did a really poor job actually selling the product. But my friend Ashley, she goes by Rome Baby on TikTok. She did another
Oh,
one.
that's who you're talking about. I love
That's
her.
my
She's
girl.
awesome.
Yeah, that's my girl, Rome Baby. She's amazing. I love
Yeah.
her and Bree so much. So she did one on the boots as well, like same time, got over like 1.2 million views, and I think she got 3 sales off, like something crazy. So it was just during that time period as well where we were just seeing it like across the board. Like it was just those high views, low sales, didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I feel like for anyone, just like a PSA, like don't call out Gen Z as a hook.
Just wait
Don't.
till Gen Alpha gets to the
Call
18,
out the
18-year-old
millennials
age.
or yeah, exactly. Call it like diss on yourselves. I feel like I should
Yeah.
have like switched that hook around and like dissed on myself for being an old millennial rather
Oh,
than
yeah.
trying to say like in hindsight, I'm like I should have flipped that and I bet it would have done a lot better.
100%. The generation I'm afraid of is the Gen Alpha, the one below Gen Z.
Oh
They're
yeah.
worse. They're worse,
Oh
but they're not
yeah.
like they're chronically online as well, but they're not like Gen Z just yet. Just when they get to that point where they're able to participate in this, we're in trouble.
Ruthless.
We're
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're in trouble. Yeah, no, and then Gen Z is gonna get called old, and I can't wait for that day. I
Oh yeah.
can't
I
wait for
know.
that day. That's
I
gonna be
know they're
great.
all in there calling us old. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
that much older than you, but they made me feel old and crusty for sure.
I feel that. My kids make me feel old and crusty, and I'm like, dude, I'm still in my 20s. Like, what are you yelling at me for? I'm
Yeah,
not old
exactly.
yet. Like, I'm
Right.
almost there, but I'm
Hmm.
not there yet.
Not
You call
quite.
me old when I hit 40s. Then
Right.
that's a
That's
different
fair.
story. That's fair. That's funny.
Hmm.
Awesome. So, what are some of the key milestones or goals that you've set for yourself that you've been able to crush? And what are some of the goals that you have set for yourself that you haven't really attained yet? Do you have any?
Yeah, I definitely have some. So the biggest one for me, I mean, at first it was like $1,000 a month. I hit that one pretty early on. Then it was five
Amazing.
figures a month, and then it was I really wanted a viral video because I had done well on live. I had gotten those 5 figure months off going live, but I really wanted it to be a video because then you get that residual income. And so now that I've hit that, like my next milestone is I want a 6 figure month. I'm gonna get that 6 figure month for
This
sure. I was
close.
so close. I know. So close, but I'll get there. I'm gonna get it. And then I think one thing for me too is maybe trying to find a bit more balance between like TikTok and my home life, because I think all of us TikTok shop affiliates, we know how consuming this can be, and like it truly feels like an addiction, and I already have like an addictive personality, and
Right.
so it truly feels completely consuming at times, or if I'm not like creating content, editing content, researching products, doing something to contribute to TikTok, I feel like I'm wasting my time. And it feels like I can't be fully present with my family because there's potentially money to be made. There I could be putting a video out right now that could be going viral. So I think for me, just being able to find a healthy balance is really important to me right now. Not missing out on this time with my kids. It's like, great, we're making all this money. Let's let ourselves enjoy it a little bit. Let's focus on the family. Like, of course, get ourselves in a good position financially, but just find like that healthy balance between grinding and staying consistent at this, because like you need to if you're going to continue to see success, but also being able to be present with my kids and not let this consume me to the degree that it has.
Right. And it can easily overwhelm you. It can easily consume you. I mean, my wife and
Yeah.
I went through some issues there where I was putting content over family time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really taking a toll. It was right around the time where our baby was just born. And I was just putting videos over everything else.
Oh
And
yeah.
in my head, it was like, well, I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss this. FOMO is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you got to live life to the fullest, right? In every aspect, whether it's with family or
Mm-hmm.
with this, but you have to have balance. And
Yeah.
without balance, everything else around you will crumble just like that.
Yep.
So I agree. Finding that balance is extremely important. And
Yeah.
if you have an addictive personality, this is a great thing to get into,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll hyper fixate on it and you'll find
Mm-hmm.
success, while doing it. But you have to learn your limits.
Right.
You have
Yeah.
to
So I,
learn
I
your
think
limits.
I think that's definitely been something like me and my friends who are also creators on here have talked about. Just like I felt it with my husband as well, where he's like, put the phone down and like focus on me and the kids. He's like, it feels
Yeah.
like I'm here alone sometimes, even though like you're here physically, like you're on your phone, you're glued to it, you're consumed by it. How sales are doing dictates your mood for the day. So I
Yeah.
think that's my biggest goal is I want a 6-figure month for sure, but I also want to find that balance.
Yep. And I think it comes within due time, right?
Yeah.
Watching a lot of other creators and taking advice from them as well.
Hmm.
Those 6-figure months will come. You're already on it. You're
Yeah.
already on your way. You're manifesting it, like you said. And one thing I've learned over time, written word is power. If you can write down your goals, it's out in the universe. Allow it
Yeah.
to take its place and allow it to find its way back to you, because I promise you it will. It's done it for me time and time again. Every time I want to achieve something, I write it down. I give it 6 months to a year. I look back at what I wrote down, and lo and behold, I've achieved it plus 10. So
That's wild. I
mhm.
agree.
It's one of those things. Manifestation is very real. You just got to write it down
Yes.
and it'll come to you.
Yep, I agree
Firm
100%. We
believer.
do our little first of the month. We write down our financial goals and we write it in like the present tense. Me and Ashley and Brie have a little group chat. So yesterday we're like, did everyone do their little first of the month
I love it.
manifestation? So we write it in like the present tense as if we've already achieved it. And just that like law of assumption, I've already done it. Just live as if you've already done it. It'll come back to you.
It will, 100%. I used to have a
Hmm.
vision board. I probably need to get back to getting a vision board because
Hmm.
I've stepped away from that for a while. But I used to
Hmm.
have a vision board and I'd put down everything I wanted. And I've made 2 vision boards and I've achieved both of them,
That's
which is
wild.
crazy because,
I got to get on one of those.
yeah. But for me, I think the thing is, if I've achieved 2 different vision boards, my goals weren't big enough. So
Hmm.
for me, I got to make them bigger, because if I've been able
Hmm.
to achieve 2 of them and take them down,
Yeah,
I've got to make bigger ones,
I
100%.
love that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it works though. People used to think I was corny for it, but hey, whatever.
No,
It
I know.
works for me.
And I feel the same. Like it's hard talking about like manifestation or anything like that.
Hmm.
People kind of think like, you know, it's a little wacky to talk about, but I'm like, I don't know. It's all coming true for me. So I'm going to keep
Yep,
doing it. But
100%. Frequencies, they're a thing. I'm a firm
yeah,
believer.
it is.
Firm
Definitely.
believer. So, let's not get too far off into conspiracy land because people might think we're crazy
Okay.
after this. But,
It might. That's fine.
but,
Okay.
how has you've been able to collude with a couple of people within Social Army? Did you know these people before getting into Social Army?
So, Bree and Ashley, which Bree on TikTok is like Bree Speed Cleans, and then Ashley's Roam Baby. We were part of what we thought was like this agency. It was crazy. It was like the biggest like scandal we've ever been a part of. This guy had like gotten a group of creators together. He told us he was running this agency to promote this supplement on TikTok. And it basically got to the point where he said we can only go live with that supplement. We had to go live 3 hours a day and submit our stats every morning to him. And like, come to find out, he was actually like a brand ambassador for this company and he was submitting our stats as his own and getting paid out on it. It was crazy. So we had met through that and we had all been in like this like WhatsApp chat with all the girls and
All
creators
right.
that were a part of that. And I was the first one to leave. I'd only been in it for a few weeks, but I had already seen a lot of success going live on the walking pad. So when he wanted me to just go live on this supplement and said I couldn't go live on any other products, I was like, I'm out. And so they eventually reached out to me when they saw me on live with the walking pad because they're like, hey, I thought this wasn't allowed. Did you leave the group? And I was like, yeah, I left. Like I didn't want to like bash the guy or anything because I didn't fully know
Right.
how like how crazy it was until well after the fact and everything came to light. So they eventually found their way out of it. We started a group text and we've been texting every single day since June. We all got together and met for the first time in October, and so we all joined Social Army together. So I knew them before Social Army from that crazy experience we all went
That's
through, but
insane to
it
me,
brought us
though.
together. So we're like, even if
Right.
we went through that, but we got each other, it's worth
Everything
it.
happens for a reason. That's
It
awesome.
does. Yeah.
So you guys all got to meet each other in person before any sort of actual event, and then you got to meet again at the LA event?
Yeah. So we all planned a trip to Georgia in October, beginning of October. We all met for the first time. Our husbands went out with us. It was just amazing. We got to spend like a week
Awesome.
in Ashley's cabin up there. It was just incredible. And then Bree and I met at the event in LA again, and Ashley couldn't make it, unfortunately. So yeah.
That's unfortunate. Was that the event at the Fig House?
Yeah.
Did I see you guys there, or am I going crazy?
So we were there. Bree and I are both so socially awkward. Like I saw all of Social Army there, but I was too scared to say anything. I was so
No.
uncomfortable. I was so scared. And Ashley was texting us. She's like, "You better say something." And I was like, "We're so shy, like painfully shy, extremely introverted." And I mean, I got to be honest. I had the biggest like case of imposter syndrome there. I just felt like, what am I even doing here? Like, I don't fit in with all these creators. I'm not a real
Yeah.
like just totally psyching myself out. So at the next event, I'll come say hi to all Social
We're
Army.
gonna
But I
have
saw
to.
you guys
No.
there.
Now that I like I have a picture image of who you are, I am
Mhm.
walking up to you at the next event,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Okay. I'm
No.
good with that. That's fine.
I feel you on that imposter syndrome. I
Mhm.
more people came up to me at that event and asked to take a photo with me than the amount of photos I've taken of myself for the
Mhm.
entire year. It was the weirdest thing in my life. I've never experienced anything like that. But the connections we got to make up there at that
Yeah.
event were unreal. And getting
Yeah.
to meet so many different creators, it was just such an experience that I'm excited to be a part of more, because there's going to be so many more events in 2025. It's going to be fun. But I fully
Yeah.
expect to meet you at one of these
Yes.
next events. That'll be awesome.
It'll happen.
That'll be
for
awesome.
sure.
And hopefully Ashley's there with you guys too, because I've talked to Ashley a couple of different times. I've reviewed
Mhm.
some of her videos in the past, and I'm glad to see her just flourishing with all of this now as
She's
well. It's
crazy.
really, really good.
She is.
I,
Yeah.
I need to meet Bree. I don't think I recognize her name. I need to see who she is and get to meet her. She's doing well on TikTok Shop as well, right?
Oh yeah, they're both just incredible content creators. Like I just get so much inspiration from both of them. Brie had built a really strong following. She did like speed cleaning videos. Like her
That's
editing
awesome.
skills are just insane. They're both just amazing. But yeah, at the next event for sure. We're all talking about it. I don't get invited to those events very often.
It's okay. I've never gotten an invite personally, ever.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
It
And so
sucks.
so hopefully it all works out that we all get invited to the same one with me, Bree, and Ashley again, because Ashley's got invited to a ton that like me and Bree haven't. So we're hoping it all works out. It will.
Any one of the events that we go to though, you guys are you're a part of the agency, right?
No,
Are
I'm
you
not with
no,
Social
not
Harmony.
yet. Are you with an agency at all currently?
So I'm with Carter Pulse. I've been with him. It was actually your video where you were talking that they got your
Right.
Loophole account back. So I was like, I got to get with them ASAP. They weren't able to get mine back, but that's okay. So I've been with them since maybe August or so. It was before Social Army started their agency.
Right. Yeah, no, Carter Pulse is good. They're one of the only other agencies that I would ever recommend to anybody.
Mhm.
Because we do have a threshold to get into Social Army Agency. It's $70,000 in GMV within the last 30 days, which you surpass by far. But yeah, Carter Pulse is one of the only other agencies outside of like Outlandish that I think I would ever recommend for anybody, because not only do Carter Pulse like dive deep and help you out with everything they possibly can,
Yeah.
they're very, very beginner friendly. And a lot of the times people can't get into Social Army because of that threshold. So they're great
Right.
to be a part of. And Andrew, oh God, I'm drawing a blank on the other guy, but Kevin. Kevin's the owner. Andrew and Kevin are great people, and they will
Yeah.
help you with anything you need. I love those guys.
Yeah. Andrew's awesome. He's been like my main point of contact there. So he's been awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome. Well, the next one we get, we definitely have you on our list of
yeah.
high tier creators. So we'll do what we can to
Thank
get you guys an invite together, because that'll be fun.
Thank
That'll
you.
be
That'd
really
be
fun.
awesome.
Of course. So I think I've pretty much gone over the majority of the things that I wanted to ask you here today. I want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything that you wanted to touch base on that we might not have talked about so far in this podcast?
Not that I can think of. I feel like I kind of touched on all of it. I just feel like this opportunity is crazy. I hope everyone that gets inspired to do it just does it and give it all you got. It's worth it.
I agree, 1,000% worth it. It might be a little bit difficult in the beginning, but there's so much free information out there. Soak it up. This podcast, it's free. It doesn't cost anything for you to watch, so you can definitely come check it out. Soak up all the information. Do you withdraw to a bank account or PayPal?
To my bank account.
Good.
Yeah.
My personal preference here for anybody watching, if you do withdraw your money, try to connect your personal bank account or a business bank account. It charges you 5 cents no matter how big the withdrawal is. But going into PayPal, you always run the risk of PayPal holding your money, and PayPal can hold your money for 8 months.
Yeah, PayPal scares me. I've had a lot of like hiccups with them.
I
Just
agree.
even like recently with brands paying me through there, there's always like hidden fees or taking money out in different places. So I just like it going straight to my bank account, 5 cents a transaction. It's no brainer.
100%. And it's a lot safer. A lot safer.
Yeah,
And it
I
may take
agree.
a few extra days, but you're fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think we're coming up to an end here, you guys. For anybody watching this, if you have any thoughts about joining Social Army, now's your chance. It's an amazing opportunity for you to take advantage of TikTok Shop and allow Social Army to be the one that helps guide you through it. We have an entire A to Z course that'll teach you everything you need to know from A to Z. We have ways of growing your accounts. We teach you guys different methods of how to grow your account. There's also a paid method that does not go into any violations or anything of that nature. It's 100% guaranteed and secured, all done through TikTok itself. And this is just an opportunity that I would hate to see anybody miss out on. And if you guys have any thoughts about joining and you enjoyed this podcast, consider doing so. There's a link right down below this video. That link is Kayla's direct link. So if you guys do join, you'll be supporting her directly. And it'd be nice to get a couple of more members in there. And on top of that, if she has any socials that she's willing to share, we will also include those down below. Sometimes we don't include those socials just because, some people are not wanting to share them out there. So please respect that. But if she does have any she's willing to share, we will include those down below for you guys. But outside of that, I think this has been a very great opportunity for you guys to learn different ways of creating content. And that, sometimes when you get knocked down, the best thing to do is just get the fuck back up and keep going, because you never know. She got knocked down, lost $15,000, but gained over $100,000 shortly after. So opportunities there. It's up to you to answer the door and take full advantage while you still can. So, Kayla, I really appreciate your time today, and I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Bryce. I appreciate you guys and Social Army and all just the community you guys have built. It's been huge in my growth as an affiliate.
Awesome. I love to hear that. So if you guys enjoyed this, consider dropping us a subscription, consider joining the team underneath Kayla, and we will see you guys on the next one. See y'all later.